The lights in the auditorium glow softly as the audience settles into their seats, unaware that they are about to witness a moment that will stay with them long after the show ends. Tonight is not just another performance. Tonight is a story of courage, hope, and a dream carried across oceans. Before we begin, welcome to the channel where real emotions meet unforgettable stories, where voices rise from silence, and where dreams find a stage. If you believe talent can come from anywhere and that one moment can change a life forever, you are in the right place. Backstage, a young boy stands quietly, his hands gently holding a microphone that seems almost too big for him. He is from the Philippines, a place known for warm hearts, strong faith, and a deep love for music. His clothes are simple, his shoes worn, but his eyes hold a fire that tells a story of nights spent dreaming and days spent struggling. He grew up in a small neighborhood where money was scarce, but songs were everywhere. Music played from old radios, echoed in narrow streets, and filled tiny homes where families gathered close. For him, music was never just sound. It was comfort when food was limited, it was hope when life felt heavy, and it was a promise that one day, things could be different. As a child, he sang wherever he could. He sang while helping his mother with chores, while his father worked long hours trying to provide for the family, and while walking to school under the hot sun. Neighbors would pause to listen, some smiling, some wiping away tears without even realizing why. They would say he had something special, something that reached straight into the heart. But compliments do not pay bills, and talent alone does not open doors. Still, the boy kept singing, because singing was the one thing that made him feel truly alive. So far, standing on one of the biggest stages in the world, in front of judges known for their honesty and sometimes brutal criticism, was terrifying. The journey itself was filled with obstacles, paperwork, long waits, and moments when it seemed impossible. But every time doubt crept in, he remembered why he started. He remembered his family, his community, and every person who ever believed in his voice. Now, the host calls his name. He walks onto the stage, the spotlight following his small figure as he steps forward. The audience applauds politely, not yet knowing what is about to happen. The judges smile, curious. Simon Cowell leans forward slightly, his expression neutral but attentive. The boy introduces himself, his voice soft but steady. He speaks about his life, about growing up poor, about how music helped him survive. His honesty fills the room with a quiet respect. Then comes the moment of truth. The music begins, and for a split second, there is silence as he takes a deep breath. When he starts to sing, everything changes. His voice is pure, emotional, and powerful beyond his years. It carries pain, hope, love, and resilience all at once. Every note feels lived in, as if each word comes from real experiences rather than rehearsed lines. The audience leans in, drawn by the sincerity in his voice. Some people cover their mouths in shock, others feel their eyes fill with tears. The judges exchange glances, clearly moved. Simon's expression softens, his eyes locked on the boy, listening not just to the sound, but to the story behind it. As the song builds, the boy closes his eyes, pouring everything he has into the performance. You can see his hands tremble slightly, not from fear, but from emotion. This is more than a performance. This is a release. Years of hardship, dreams delayed, and hopes held onto by faith alone are being transformed into music right here on this stage. The final note rings out, hanging in the air like a fragile promise. For a heartbeat, the room is completely silent. Then, the audience erupts. Applause crashes like a wave, growing louder and louder. People rise to their feet, one by one, until the entire theater is standing. The boy opens his eyes, stunned, his face a mix of disbelief and overwhelming emotion. The judges stand as well. One of them wipes away tears, another shakes their head in amazement. Simon Cowell remains standing, clapping slowly, thoughtfully, as if recognizing something rare and extraordinary. When the applause finally begins to fade, the judges share their feedback. They talk about his raw talent, his emotional depth, and how his voice made them feel something real. They tell him that moments like this are why the show exists. Then comes the moment no one was expecting, yet everyone will remember forever. One judge reaches for the golden buzzer. The sound echoes through the theater, golden confetti raining down from above. The boy looks up in shock, his hands flying to his face as tears finally fall. He drops to his knees, overwhelmed by the realization that his life has just changed. The audience cheers even louder, chanting and clapping, celebrating not just a great performance, but a victory of the human spirit. The boy thinks of his family back home, watching, praying, hoping. He thinks of the streets where he first learned to sing, the nights when dreams felt too big. In this moment, every sacrifice feels worth it. As the confetti falls, the judge who pressed the golden buzzer walks onto the stage and hugs him. They whisper words of encouragement, telling him never to forget where he came from and never to stop believing in himself. The boy nods through tears, unable to speak, his heart too full. This performance quickly spreads across the world. Clips are shared, reactions are recorded, and people everywhere are touched by his story. Comments flood in from different countries, all saying the same thing in different ways. That voice gave me chills. That boy reminded me to never give up. That performance made me cry. But beyond the viral videos and headlines, something deeper has happened. A young boy who once sang in the shadows has been seen, heard, and celebrated. His story becomes a reminder that talent knows no boundaries, that greatness can rise from the humblest beginnings, and that sometimes, all it takes is one chance. As he leaves the stage, still shaking with emotion, he knows the journey is far from over. There will be new challenges, new expectations, and new fears. But now, he also knows that his voice has power. It can move hearts, open doors, and inspire others who feel unseen. And for everyone watching, this moment becomes a lesson. Dreams are not reserved for the lucky or the wealthy. They belong to anyone brave enough to chase them, no matter how impossible they seem. This is why we share these stories, why we celebrate these moments, and why we believe in the magic of a single voice changing the world. Thank you for being part of this journey, for listening, for feeling, and for believing. Stay with us for more stories that remind us of the beauty of hope, the strength of dreams, and the power of never giving up.